As you can see, this is the map voting thing. And then you can obviously change the images as well. We're gonna test this out. As you can see, it obviously works. Now obviously you can move this map a bit, farther from the lobby. As you can see, it's kind of stupid. But we're gonna see who wins this match right now.
Welcome back guys to a new Roblox video tutorial. Today we're going to be revisiting an old tutorial I made, which was the game mode tutorial. I made this tutorial a while ago and it was pretty messy, it was very unorganized, and people have been asking me for an update. So in this tutorial we're going to actually utilize a module script, which is going to be really helpful for this type of game, for this tutorial. In my old tutorial I didn't utilize any module script, which is why it was kind of really messy and it was just really inefficient and it was really wacky. So this is what I'm going to do in this tutorial. I'm going to be utilizing a module script, which is very helpful for basically organizing code and basically keeping code in one place and can be accessed from many different places. So right now I have most of the same stuff that I had in my old game tutorial, including the original scripts and everything. I did modify some of the stuff. For example, I did organize all the different stuff into folders. So like the remote vents, models, and stuff like that. I did modify some of the scripts, such as the voting system script, and some of the also the UI and how it's implemented, just so it's more organized. So for example, for the voting thing, I made a whole UI list layout. So instead of just only having 3 set choices, for the game modes, you can have like as many as you want, and it will be listed in the UI list layout. So if I have this choice right here, and let's make this visible. For example, this is capture the flag. If you can add more, it will still be, I mean, it's gonna kind of be cropped up, but obviously you can change that in the UI list layout. So we're gonna actually start. What we're gonna do is gonna use all the game mode scripts from our last tutorial, which was, I think, was right here. So we basically made a script for each game mode, which is why it was really unorganized, and it's not really good if you want to actually make changes to game modes in the future. If you want to remove some game modes, if you want to add some more game modes, this is not the way to go. So this is why I'm going to make this tutorial and utilize module script. So what our module script is basically a normal script, but you can access it from different external scripts. So what I'm going to do is going to make a folder right here, and I'm going to name it modules, and let's add a module script. All right, so we can name this game modes. All right, and in here we're gonna basically do the same thing we did in that one local script for the voting GUI. So let's go to this, and then in here, if you remember, I did make a dictionary, a small little dictionary right here, and this is basically all the different game modes I had. So I have free for all, team deathmatch, capture the flag. Right now we're gonna do 2 of these, so this is gonna be the same thing. It's a dictionary. A module script is basically, you can make it as a dictionary. So we're gonna add these 2, and what we're gonna do, how we can do that is make a name for it. So let's call this free for all, and then you set this to a table like this, and you can also add properties. So in this case, we can add image as a property, and then we can also add functions as well as properties, which is the most important part of this tutorial. So we're going to set this as an image property. So free for all, this is the game mode, and it can be indexed from this table, and image is a property, and you can access this image from the game mode itself. And then we're going to do a comma, and we can add more properties. In this case, we're going to add a func property, basically standing for function, and this is how we can call the free for all function game mode from the original round script. So what we can do, func, and then we set this to a function, and then what we put here is basically the same thing we would do in this script. And in addition to that, we can also add the brown logic. So right here, let's also do the other one. Let's put a comma here. Let's also do the team deathmatch. And then obviously put this ID, then the function for team deathmatch here. Basically what this is a module script, and we can call each function for each game mode once we choose a game mode to run, right? So for each game mode, there's going to be 2 aspects. There's going to be 2 sections. One is going to be the initialization, which sets up the round for the game mode to work. And then the second part is going to be the round logic, so we can determine who the winner is for that specific game mode. For example, the way we determine the winner for a free-for-all round will be a bit different than how we determine the winner for a team deathmatch, right? Because obviously the winner for a team deathmatch would be a team. Meanwhile, for free-for-all, it would be an individual player. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually first, we're going to actually, let's do something easier. We're going to actually copy the while loop from the main round script, which is right here. This was the OG script that makes the whole game run. So if you go on this function round and we go down for this round loop, so we're going to go all the way to the free-for-all. So this was for team deathmatch or capture the flag. We're going to skip this if statement to the else. And I think it would be easier if I did this. So this would be the logic for the free-for-all. And then we're going to go all here. I'm going to copy this. I think this might be it. But we're going to also need this for loop too, so we can count down from the round length all the way down to 0. So that would be the counter. So we'll do for I equal round length. Well, we didn't define the round length yet. Let's pass this here, round length. Misspelled it. All right. Now we can do this. We copy this. Now it will be a bit different. So we do obviously need to make some variables first. So let's first make the variable for the status logo. And then the in round. Then let's make some other variables as well. So the teams. Then the player's service. Then the chosen map value. It's in round, right? Chosen map. Okay. We can make a we don't really have to. We can make a variable for the replicated storage. But what we can do is now make a variable for the map votes, which will handle all the votes. It will carry all the votes for each player. All right. All right, so now we have the status. I did actually misspell this. It's supposed to be status. I think that was in the original tutorial. So like this. So just to make sure this is correct, I am missing one little part right here, and that is for the status. We're gonna need this part right here so we can update the status. Like that. Now the status updated. We have a players table, and then we check all the players in the game, and if they are in the playing team, meaning if they are in the round, we're going to insert the player inside this table right here. The amount of players in this table that are in the round equals to 0, meaning there's no players left in the round. Then we just change the status to everyone has died, and then we can break out of this loop and then end the round. If there's one more person playing, that means he's the winner because he's the only player left. So then we award him. We change the status to whatever. We can award him if you want, but you would need to obviously make wins, leader stats, and all that. Otherwise, if the round ended and the people are still in the round, that is more than one person, we change status to everyone has ran out of time. I think I might probably need to remove an end here. That's probably why I was doing that. Okay, so now this is the logic done. So all of this is the logic for the free-for-all game mode. So now let's do the initialization part, which is going to be a bit more difficult, but it's still mostly the same thing that we put here. It's a bit of copy and paste, but we're going to change a few stuff because I did also modify some of the map stuff. So in here, the folder called for each map, there's going to be blue spawns, red spawns, and then these values. Let's pull up one map. In this map, we're going to have blue spawns and red spawns. These are going to be important when the team deathmatch game mode has been chosen, because it's going to be where the team members are going to spawn during the team deathmatch game mode. Meanwhile, the FFA spawns, standing for free-for-all spawns, are where the player is going to spawn when the free-for-all game mode has been chosen. So these are going to be for different game modes. Now obviously you can make them transparent if you want. I just made them just for demonstration purposes. You can just make them transparent if you want, like that. But yeah, so it can be voted. Image, I kind of explained them in the last tutorial. Pretty self-explanatory. Blue flag spawn is where the flag will be spawned in the first map, and the red flag spawn where the red flags are going to spawn in the map. Now I'm not going to be covering the capture the flag in this tutorial. The next tutorial most likely. So we're going to return this, and then this is just so I can show you how you want your maps to be like. You want all of these in your map so it works, because if you have one of these not in the map, or not in one of your maps, then your thing is basically going to break, right? The script's going to break. So we can't copy and paste this, to be honest. So obviously we don't need this if statement because, well, it's already inside the function that's corresponding to the free-for-all game mode. So we can copy most of this. We don't need the died one because I did add a script for the reset, so it automatically sets you to the lobby team. And now we can copy and paste this, but it's not going to be as easy as that because we do need to add some modifications to it. All right, so there's going to be the map clone. The chosen map, I already have a variable for that, so we don't need that. Now the playing team, now for this, it gives us an error, so let's actually declare it first, so it doesn't give us an error. This should be team 1. This was just a variable, so let's replace this with playing, because this the team we want to assign to the players that are in the free-for-all game mode, right? So this is just all the players that are playing in the round. That's the team that we're gonna be they're gonna be assigned to once they're in the round. I don't know. Oops, I spelled this wrong. There we go. And then let's see. Okay. So you can obviously change this if you want, but this is just for free-for-all, so it's not going to be like a specific team. Now, as I've shown you, I did make free-for-all spawns, so we don't actually need to just randomize red and blue spawns. This kind of gets wacky and just like a waste of lines. So what we're going to do is basically erase most of this. So let's do FA spawns equal map clone dot FFA spawns, which is why I named this right here. FFA spawns, get children, and then we're gonna get a random free-for-all spawn. Let's call this rand spawn. We'll do a random FFA spawn. So we're gonna so this is just a table of all the spawns, and then we're gonna get a random index from that table containing all the spawns. So it's gonna replace like these variables. This one, I think this looks weird. I think I have to replace this end right here. We're gonna spawn like that, and then now our humanoid is set to a random spawn C frame, and then we're gonna do some random vector 3, but I don't even know why it did back then. It was a really old tutorial, so it's kind of wacky. Now this is for the classic sword. Now this gives the sword to the player in their character. So basically, so they can equip it. I don't have it right now, but it is one in the toolbox. No, put this in replicated storage. I did actually make a folder for this. Let's put this in models just so it's more organized. Now, obviously, it doesn't have to be a class of sword, it can be anything. Just make sure you modify this. So if it's named like gun, for example, you do find her shotgun in the replicated storage. But in this case, since we put it in the modules folder, the models folder, we're gonna do game.replicateStorage.models because it's inside that folder. And then we're gonna do .models again. And we're gonna clone that parent to the character of the player. So right here we set up the team and we loop through all the players, and then we can tell we set their team to the playing team, and we teleported them to the random spawn and gave them a sword. That's pretty self-explanatory. Looks pretty good. Now it's for the free-for-all. Now let's do the team deathmatch. It's gonna be similar. So instead, what we're gonna do is now go to the main round script, and then now we can go through this one right here. If chosen mode.value equal team deathmatch, we're going to copy this logic that we made in the last tutorial. Okay, so it should be up till here. Let's pass the round length here. Let's actually make the for loop first. For I equals round length 0, -1, do. There we go. So we have two tables right here. Now let's actually, before we do that, let's rename, let's spell these correctly. A lot of this is kind of wacky, but it should be similar. All right, so let's declare these outside. So let's do local, and then local, and let's reassign these here. And then we're going to do the same thing with the status. I'm going to copy this over here, so we can update the status like that. All right, now there's some issues here, but we can solve them first by using the team deathmatch script right here. And then we'll do the initialization part for the team deathmatch, and then we can fix those errors as we go on. Okay, this should be it. I wouldn't need this part. So we have the map point variable right here. Now let's make two tables for the blue team count and the red team count. Now let's make two variables for the teams. Blue team, red team. Teams is just the service. So let's, actually I spelled it with a lowercase t. And then this would be the team for at least one of the teams right here. So if it's not red team. So in this case, if we don't find any teams like the red team or blue team in the teams and the team service right here, and then we're gonna make new teams. So we can set up the teams for the round. So we're gonna make new teams. I don't know why, I think I spelled it wrong like that. Okay, like that, red team like that, right? And then you can name this to whatever you want, but make sure you also apply this to the if statement. So do blue team like that. Then for this case, okay, this case this will be red team. Actually, this will be a space as well. So red team like that. And then obviously you can change the color as well. So you just change this to whatever brick color you want. Well, the team color is a brick color, so you'd have to do that. And the blue team would be dark blue, and you can change that obviously if you want to. All right, so now let's do the for loops for all the players. So it teleports them and sets their teams. Now everything here is pretty good. We're just gonna need to modify this because we did put the class sort in our modules folder. So we're gonna do models, our child, and then models like that. So we also need to set their teams as well. So we also made variables for the colors. Now you don't really need to do that, but I found a better way to do that. So what you can do is do blue team dot team color dot color. That's much more efficient. So do the same thing here. Red team dot team color dot color, which is the color of the team, is color to value of the brick of the team color of their team. Color gets the color 3 value, which would fit for the name text color, right? Because if you get the text color, that would be a brick color value, which wouldn't match the color 3 value of the name tag. I did realize for this, it was pretty lengthy, but I could cut half of the code just by removing this portion right here. Then instead of that, I just have an equal, greater than or equal to here. So in case they're both the same amount in each team, it would just give one player to the blue team, which would give them slightly an advantage, but it's not really a big deal, right? It's only if there's an uneven amount of players, then they would have extra one player. And now that's pretty much it for the team deathmatch function. So we got the initialization part, and we've done the actual logic for it. Right. So the model will be in the description in case you're just lost. Now I have a model script of all of these game mode functions and their logic and how they work. Now we don't really need any of that in this main round script. So all this logic right here, we can just remove them and just call it from the module script right here. So we can actually just remove this like that. And as a matter of fact, we don't really need the countdown because also that's implemented in the module script as well. And we don't need this either. And also for this is basically the conclusion of the round. We can also add this to the module script. I forgot to add this. So this will fire a remote event to all the clients and will make the basically the end round for the teams UI to appear. So we can put this here. So that has a blue team, red team count, remaining blue and remaining red. Let's do game that will be storage, and then we'll do remote events because that's the folder that it is in right here, and that should work pretty well. Now we can remove this and then replace this with like weight 3. I think that should be well. Actually, we'll put this weight 3 in the free-for-all because that's for the free-for-all right here. Okay, now all we need to do here is basically make a weight 1, for example, if you want, or weight 2 or whatever. Small delay, and then we can call the function right here from the model script. So let's first actually make a variable for that because I forgot we didn't do that. We'll go game modes equals require because it's a model script, and to access what's inside, we have to use require. Game.replicated storage modules. That did I put a name for this? I didn't make a name for it, I think. Let's call this game modes. Game modes. All right. Then now we can call this from here. So we'll do game modes. And then and from that, we'll do the chosen mode, right, that the players voted for. So from that, we can use in round chosen mode value, and then .func because that's what we used as a name for the function. Then fire it with the round length as the argument, and that's pretty much it. Okay. Pretty simple. As you can see, it cut a whole lot of lines just from this main round script. It used to be really huge, but now we just made it really simple. So now all we need is to actually set up the folders for the game modes. As you can see here, we have the game mode votes right here. So instead of all of this, now these were like the very these were like the set game modes we had from the last tutorial. Now you can add as many as you want, or you can remove some if you want. It's gonna be very flexible for you guys, so we can remove all of this, and then we're gonna make it so we can automatically add some from the script. So this is gonna be based off a game modes module script. So we're gonna do for I, or it's gonna be mode name, then mode info, but we don't really need the mode info, it doesn't really matter. And pairs game modes, do local f equal instance dot new folder. Oops, I did not need a comma here. F dot name equals mode name, which is the name of the game mode. F dot parent equal game directory storage that game mode votes. All right, so now we set up folders automatically for the game mode votes folder. This will hold all the votes for our game modes, and this is going to be derived from this game modes module script we made here. So when you add more here, it will automatically update to the game mode votes folder, so you don't have to manually add them. Pretty cool. All right, so now we're pretty much done with this main round script.
Okay, we're back with a bunch of friends, so we're gonna test this out. As you can see, it obviously works. Now, obviously, you can move this map a bit, farther from the lobby. As you can see, it's kind of stupid. But we're gonna see who wins this match right now. We're gonna kill some people here. Okay, let's kill this guy. Let's kill this guy. And I have won the game. Now, obviously, the sword was a bit buggy at first. You kind of have to look for the fixed one. I'll post it down in the description. The one that actually works with R15. This is the map. As you can see, this is the map voting thing. And then you can change the images as well. But this is very basic, bare bones game mode. Oh, and you killed me. Alternatively, you can also make it unique spawns, just so they don't spawn in each other, and that could cause some unwanted kills. But I did make a short on that, so I'll post it down in the description of how you can make unique spawns for each player. But that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you want more, definitely leave a like, subscribe, and comment what you want next. Next tutorial you want. Definitely join my Discord server for a chance to be in one of my videos, just like these guys. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys in the next one.